name is Annabelle Lock. I'm an operations graduate and I work for Kerry Foods. I did chemistry at university. I've got a master's degree, an undergrad master's degree in chemistry from Cardiff University. I would say it's not directly linked. I think one of the things I learned by doing a science degree is actually I didn't want to work in the lab for the rest of my life. Part of the reason that I chose the operations graduate program with Kerry is that as part of my degree at uni, I did a year in industry where I worked in a factory for a year. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the sort of the people aspect of it and the actual the day-to-day running and knowing how things are made and that kind of ins and outs of it. So that made me then want to go into operations. And then I was just sort of looking around. Kerry had, one of the better schemes that I looked out there for. It was well advertised. In terms of the program itself, you sort of typically, it's not the same. Like every graduate has a different, even within operations, every graduate has a different experience. I was originally near Manchester in a place called Hyde in the UK, and now I've moved over to Ireland and I'm working in Shalala. And now I'm in a fully supervisory role. So I'm a group leader in the rashers department. So we make bacon, lots of bacon. Typical day, it's very busy. But you are their manager. So I have 33 people that report into me. It's about, managing your absence, managing your metrics, solving the day-to-day problems. No 2 days are the same. I will say that absolutely. At the moment, a lot of it is COVID based, making sure people are going up for tests, making sure people are aware of their sort of health and safety. Whereas a weekly kind of basis, it's about making sure all of the projects within your department are keeping going. As a group leader, I work with I have 4 team leaders, so I work with them to ensure that the teams are doing what they need to be doing, basically. Number one is your people skills. At the end of the day, you are managing. So for example, I'm managing 33 people. My fellow group leader, he has been doing it a lot longer than me. He's managing 55 people because of different department sizes. But, you do have to be good with people because, you're sorting their holidays, you're sorting their pay queries and things like that. So you do have to be aware of people's emotions, how people work together. And how you can sort of kind of persuade them to what you want to do, if that makes sense. Which, to be fair, the graduate program, as part of the learning modules we do, they do a lot on how to sort of get the best out of the people that are reporting into you. It is a very fast-paced environment. Things do have a habit of changing just like that. You have plan changes, you have suddenly people ringing in sick, and you've got to be able to think on the spot and kind of just go with that. To me, at the end of the day, operations is making sure that the product gets out the door, and all of the extra side bits and in bits that go with that. It's fulfilling your customer demands. It's managing the teams that you've got of a variety amount of operators depending on what process you've got. And managing them so that you are getting stuff out of the door, or if things are going wrong, making sure that you're there helping it be fixed. Part of operations is looking after the health and safety and the quality. It's the people-y side of it. It's making sure the product gets out the door high quality and safely as well. I haven't actually worked from home a whole lot during this. Part of the operations role is that you do need to be on site pretty much every day. It comes with its own positives and negatives. From a sort of personal perspective, you are on site every day, but you do get to see people. You get to see people that aren't just the 4 walls of your house. I know other grads who have only seen the four walls of their house, and they've been, adjusting to that accordingly. Whereas from my perspective, the COVID adjustments have more been managing the people's health and safety, making sure they're adhering to the distances, the mask wearing. So usually when I'm on the factory floor, this is not what I look like. I've got a hairnet, a mask, everything is compulsory on site at the moment. We have routine testing. From a operations point of view, you're generally, unless you're on projects, which you can kind of do from home, you're generally on site every day. Be a bit bolder, go and ask the questions. Like, no one's going to think they know you've only started the job 2 months ago and you don't really know what you're doing. So ask the questions and make that jump. I found that I was a bit afraid to do that when I first started, but now, even though I've been in the job a year, I've moved site, so I'm still like, oh, I'm not entirely sure what this means. Do you mind having a quick call with me to just explain it? And literally every single time, everyone is perfectly happy to explain everything and make sure you understand it. It's about taking that support that's being offered to you by your mentor. Kerry will give you many different mentors in many different shapes and forms, and taking that support and using it. When they say go and ask questions, actually go and ask questions, and people aren't as scary as you think they are. What I love the most about working at Kerry is the people that you're managing. They come in for the clock in, the clock out 9 times out of 10, but it's how you can make their time in that 8 hours of their life a little easier, safer, more enjoyable. As a graduate, they know that they're going to be there longer than you, and you generally know that you're only going to be there for potentially a year. So it's about what difference can you make in that year to make their lives a little easier. And I do just enjoy being with my teams and my team leaders, seeing people